Greetings, my fellow hollows, and welcome to a very special series where we're going to paint Solaire of Astora. I've been looking very much forward to this one. I had to wait a little bit for this mini to come in, and of course the name escapes me right off the bat because I did not have my notes pulled up, so we will say thank you to you. Thank you. Thank you for having this model available, printing it, shipping it, and here we be in it. And we're going to start off with this technical paint from Citadel. It is Astora, and of course it's just like your Armageddon dust. It is the same damn formula, except a different paint reps. A different paint recipe. Speaking's gotta be tough, isn't it? I'm exceedingly tired today. Which is BS because I did get plenty of sleep. It's just, I guess, one of those days. Yeah, we're tired. I think today would make a day. Oh man, I can't brain. No, today would only be 2 days of me not exercising, if that is the case. I'm trying to keep track of that because in 2 days I have my CPAT test. So I'm trying to take it easy so I don't go into that test incredibly sore, but also I can't, not that there's enough time for it, but I don't want my muscles to go atrophy because I feel like that'd be just as dangerous. It'd be foolish. But either way, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about some Dark Souls, man. Now, I, unfortunately, have never played Demon Souls. I would love to. I have not gotten the opportunity. I keep wanting to say a PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation, but I don't have a PC. I really don't have a PC that I can play that on. So we're getting out Dark Stone by Army Painter because we're going to hit that stone that he's got his foot on. Now I was going to go with my Wasteland base design, with the Armageddon dust, dry brushing it with some either Barbarian Flesh or Krieg Khaki by Citadel. But we're going to go with Dark Stone because in Dark Souls 1, you're more or less primarily on a castle keep for a majority of the time. Now, we are painting over white. I'll get back to what I was saying. We're painting over white, which is not an easy task. As you can see, you put on your layers and everything gets very streaky, inconsistent, and you're just like, oh god. Don't worry, this is where layer building comes in. So you're going to want to paint in thin enough layers. I am trying to spread this out so that it's thin enough. And eventually those brush strokes will go right out the door. Now, Demon Souls. Yeah, I never got the pleasure to play Demon Souls, especially in its original format. I would love to do that. But like I said, Daddy don't have a PC. It's not on my priority list to get, so I am not going to. Unless I could get it on the Xbox, which I can't remember if it's even available as a port yet. If it is, cool. If not, well. And don't even bother asking, well, how the hell could you not be aware? Well, dude, I have kids. And when you have kids, sometimes you can't be bothered to look crap up. It's just what it is, man. Now, as far as more of a color scheme, he has chainmail and he has some plate mail. And basically, we're going to use gunmetal for the plates. And, oh, definitely not mithril. And we're going to use the plate mail for the chain mail. And that is how you're going to get your differentials. Because the gunmetal is dark enough. It is dark enough to make a big difference. So, let's get out our smaller brush. We're back to our Haggard brush. Even though I have a brand new brush. And I want to say we tried it on the last series. And it wasn't working out, so we're back to we're back to the Haggard brush for now. I'll be using that new brush in my own time. But Dark Souls has been a special thing to me, like it has been to a lot of people out there. I'm not going to be one of those people that says, "Oh man, it helped me with my depression," because I don't think it did. And I don't think I was really dealing with too much. Anyway, I was not in a depressed state when I was playing it. If I was, I sure as fuck don't remember. But my wife remembers that while we were on lockdown and pregnant and everything, not only was I playing Dark Souls 1, but I had completed Dark Souls 1 7 times in a row, right in front of her. She was like, "Good Lord. So this game is just easy for you." And I was like, "Oh, hell no. Hell no, it's not easy for me." But I couldn't, I guess I was locked in. I just couldn't help myself. I didn't have the desire to play anything else. I had zero desire for any other game. So I just kept playing it and kept playing it, and I was getting faster at it. I was completing it in a faster manner. I was just getting better. And to where, to this day, I consider myself to be a quote unquote a Dark Souls veteran here. Because I really only like Dark Souls 1. I have never played Dark Souls 2. And Dark Souls 3 irks me. It very much gets under my skin. Now, I love Dark Souls 3, don't get me wrong. Well, I guess I should say that I like it instead of loving it. I love the lore. Dark Souls 3 probably has some of the best lore because I love when things get tied up. I love when you tie up your storylines. And it seems like Dark Souls 3 does a really, really good job of that. And I've heard people say that Dark Souls 3 is actually the weaker when it comes to the lore. Sure. If that's what we're going with, I guess. All right. I have not seen it that way. But it does not matter either way. What matters is that we were all having a really good time, having a lot of really good fun, and I was most certainly having the blast. Now, Dark Souls 3, I cannot beat on my own. I had a buddy that helped me online beat the Soul of Cinder, and I have not been able to beat it since. And I'm like level 150. Not that that exactly matters, because you could be whatever level you want, and if you just suck, you suck. For some reason, when it comes to Dark Souls 3, I can't get good. I don't know. I can't do it. Can't do it. Damn. I didn't know my pinky landed on that. Shit. I was going to try a neat little thing, and I was going to keep the base white, the base rim. Whatever. We'll have to go back in and fix that later. But anyway, yeah. I had a hard time with Soul of Cinder. I'm still having a hard time with him. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I don't have the time to try again. I don't have the time to dedicate to getting good. Not like that. But I feel like if I pick up Dark Souls, it would take me maybe an hour or two to really get back into the swing of things because I love it so much. And I really do. I'm biased toward that game. But it's just so well designed. And I, like anybody, because you play it without a map, you get a real good sense of where you are, where you're going, how to get to places, especially on your second, third, fifth, 18th playthrough. You really get to know where you're going. Now, my most embarrassing story for Dark Souls, I don't think I deleted the character because it was just too good. It's just too good. And if anything, it presents a very nice challenge. I want to say that challenge is already there, but I accidentally did it. Enough of the pretense. So, my very first playthrough, I missed Oscar. I missed him. I missed getting the flask. And I don't know how I got out of Firelink Shrine. I guess I figured that the game was that hard. That it was testing me that much. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I missed it. And everyone's like, how the hell could you miss that? It's right there at the beginning of the game. And it's because when I dodge that boulder that comes flying at you, I didn't bother to backtrack it. I heard it crash through a wall. If anything, the most you would have gotten out of me was me to backtrack down there to go, oh, wow, it actually broke through the wall. That's pretty cool. Fuck it. And I kept trucking. I didn't even think about it. Remember, I did not think twice about that. And obviously I paid for it. We're just trying to get fancy with some details here. Don't mind me. The print work on this was pretty damn good. And I'm just having a little fun with it. Seeing what I can do. Alright. We're going to leave it at that. I did forget a color. So, for the colors that I am going to use, of course, you already saw the Astra Granite, you saw the Dark Stone. I'll be using another layer of Dark Stone here in a minute. Gunmetal, Plate Metal, Black Templar, wherever I'm going to need it. And for the Sun logo, of course, Bal Red and Imperial Fist. And for his green shoulders, we'll be going with Astra Militarum. And I had paints back here because I was working on something else last night. And I don't have Astra Militarum, so we'll have to go get that in a second. But, for now, why don't we get out the gunmetal? Since we got 13 minutes on the clock now, get out some gunmetal and just start painting up some gunmetal. So I can't even begin to think how long this series would take me. Honestly, the Pongolians should have taken me 5 episodes, in all honesty. Should have taken me that long. But I cheated and painted off camera just to kind of speed things up. I didn't exactly care for a series to go past 4 episodes. I still kind of don't. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, really when it comes to Dark Souls 3, what gets me about Dark Souls 3 is that everything feels too light. It doesn't feel grounded, realistic. I know it's a video game. Hear me out. So Dark Souls 1, I played as a knight. Go figure. Just like many of us did. Now I can start the game off as depraved, whatever, deprived. Level 1 across the board. And I can pull it off. I can do that. However, I started off at night. And, you're hopping. You're clunking. You're really clunking around because you're a fucking knight. Fast forward Dark Souls 3, and I'm sprinting in my knight armor. And it just did not make any sense. Now, don't worry, we're going to be doing a couple of layers with this silver as well. As you can see, it is not covering those shins the best. And that's because painting over white is a pain in the ass. It is a real pain in the ass. And that'll be okay. I should have painted the boots first, but that's okay. And I don't even know if he goes with brown boots. I guess I should have looked that up. Probably going to go with black boots. But anyway, yeah, you're clanking around, man. And that threw me off. And I've had people defending it saying, well, after a certain game, Bloodborne, they decided to speed things up. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You decided to what? You decided to speed things up? Because I know Bloodborne has a faster paced gameplay style. You know, your character is wearing Victoria era clothes. You are lighter weight, so you can really run and everything like that. And I get it. Don't bring that into my knight. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I really did not feel like I was clanking. Even when I began to fat roll, everything felt lightweight. It still felt like the ragdoll physics were just omnipresent. And it just threw me off, drove me nuts. I didn't know what to do with that. I still don't know what to do with that. It makes... Oh, Phil, you make me angry, Phil. I don't know, man. That throws me off. And it felt like Dark Souls 3 was just way harder. That could be me. And I know any of the Dark Souls 2 fans out there would be like, bitch, you want to know what's hard? Yeah, I know. I've seen some videos talking about Dark Souls 2. I've seen some videos trying to defend Dark Souls 2. And I do stress the word trying. Because like one of my favorite channels out there, Molar, like he was pointing out, you're doing a piss poor job of defending this. You're more like being an ass. And yeah, can't say I liked his tone. Can't say I liked much about that fucking video. And I can't believe that Molar did, what, I think 9 long form videos in a measured response. And it was so eloquent, beautifully and articulate, beautifully crafted. Beautifully. Just wow. Such a prime example of the spoken word. I was like, dude, you're getting my English hard on here. Like, what the hell? That's awesome. So that was a real treat. And that is my problem with Dark Souls 3, though. Is that it's too fast-paced. You're too light. As a knight, you're too light. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? So I can never really get the timing right. I never feel like I've got a true handle on this character. You know, he's just running around in his knight armor and everything. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And if that makes me a bad Dark Souls player, okay. That's nice. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Still going to play the game. Still going to play the game how I see fit. And that means I'm going to be playing Dark Souls 1 all the more. So I did have a lot of fun playing that game. It was very exciting. Very challenging. One of the most challenging games I've ever played in my life. And this is coming from somebody who can't beat a single side scroller. God, I hate side scrollers, man. Like the new Metroid Dread, I can't even do that. I can't. Now, I just saw the clock and we're at 20 minutes, so I'm going to paint these boots and we're going to call it a day. Because if these boots are not black, guess what? I can always go back over it. Because this is a contrast paint and it will dry fairly quickly. And it's Black Templar, so it is pretty light. It's pretty thin. It's almost like a black wash. Almost. If you disagree, that's fine. You don't have to agree. It's a paint. You don't have to break out the science on it either. I'm not going to believe you. If anything, I'll just start screaming Bill Nye the Science Guy. Which won't be an insult to you, but I'll just keep calling you a nerd. And that'll be fine.
As you can see here with the consistency of the paint, it is nowhere near a black wash, because the black washes made by Citadel paints are this consistency. So as you can see, you are not just wrong fundamentally, but you are wrong mathematically, and that just makes you infinitely wrong because mathematics goes on forever.
Not that I expect a damn person to do anything like that. But yeah. That would be funny. That would make me go, a tee. At that point, I am Phil, because you make me angry, Phil. Oh, man. All right. We'll come back next week. Next episode, we'll get talking a little bit more about Dark Souls. We'll have to freehand the face on that shield. And then more worryingly, we'll have to completely freehand the sun and face on his belly. I like how they did make it. I'm sure he's not fat because he never really exactly looked fat in the game. But man, does look kind of fat, doesn't he? It's okay. It's okay. I'll see you guys on the next round. All right. Peace out, and don't you dare go hollow.